So I'm going to start introducing a little bit about myself. I'm Fernanda. I work for ATC Language Schools. So many of you might have received the news that ATC now recently acquired the locally based agency Live in English that works with Demi-pair programs in Ireland. We're very happy to join forces. We already have students from Live in English for a long time, and now we can work even more close. So Aoife is going to be doing the presentation today. And if you guys during the presentation have some questions, you can start messaging there. We're going to be answered then at the end. I can answer some if it's related to what she's talking to, or we can leave for the end. So Aoife is talking from Ireland. I am in Brazil right now. It's 11 a.m. So if there is more people here in Latin America, it's still early for us, 10 or 11, depending where you are. I think we are good. Aoife, if you wanna take over.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much, Fernanda, and thank you to all of the agents who have arrived to this webinar this afternoon for me and this morning for you in Latin America. So yes, my name is Aoife Mulvihill, and I'm working here as Program Director of Living English. And I am very happy to present to you the Demi-pair program today. So I'm going to share my screen with you now and start into my presentation. Okay, so as Fernanda mentioned just there now, ATC Language Schools has acquired Living English since the end of last year. And now we are delighted to be part of the greater UKLC education group that's between Ireland and the UK, promoting language programs for young learners, adults, teachers, all over Ireland and in the UK with ATC, with UKLC, with Living English, and with Lingua Stay. So today's presentation is all about the Demi-pair program information. So part one, I'm going to start into this. So Living English was established around 25 years ago in 2000. It's like a fully cultural exchange program where students come over and have a full immersion in a family home. They have full board accommodation, all of their meals, their light, heat, electricity, and Wi-Fi in exchange for 20 hours childcare and light household duties, plus 2 nights babysitting per month. We have, as part of the program, all of the students are immersed into ATC language schools by attending language courses for 10 or 20 hours per week in the morning times. It's an all-inclusive package with accommodation, course, placement fee or the placement to the family, airport transfers, the travel card to allow local travel, and um, 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 a part of the e-learning platform as well of ATCs that they have access to that up to 3 months after they depart. And then also they can join the social activity program of ATC language schools. The Demi-pair program is available all year round because we're connected with ATC where they can start classes any Monday throughout the whole year, except for 2 weeks at Christmas time. During the academic year, from September to May, the minimum stay is 12 weeks and the minimum age is 18 years of age. During the summertime, for June, July, and August, the minimum length of stay is 8 weeks and the minimum age is 19. The average age of our Demi-pair applicants is usually 18 up to 22, 23 years of age. The oldest we have is about 26, but it works really, really well with students who are coming out of high school to do an academic gap year, or for those who've already started studying and who are looking to come over to do a childcare kind of program as part of their educational program. They may be studying childcare, they may be studying to be primary school teachers or nursery teachers or anything involved with young learners and education. The minimum level for this program is B1 Intermediate Spoken English, which tends to be a B2 level of grammar and written English. And that's really, really important because we need the Demi-pair candidates to be able to understand instruction by their families because they are taking responsibility of their children. So they really need to understand instructions from them. The Demi-pair families are all carefully selected by Living English, and we go and we visit them personally, and we also get them Garda vetted, which is the Irish word for police. So they're police vetted here through the HEC language school system. All of our families are within 1 hour door to door from HEC language school in either Dublin or Bray to their family home. The Demi-pair families provide full board accommodation in their own single room where they would have access to a family bathroom, or in some situations they have their own private bathroom. It really depends on the household and how big the house is. All of their meals are included, breakfast, lunch and dinner, and they have no bills like light, heat, electricity, internet, Wi-Fi like they would if they were in shared accommodation. The family also gives the Demi-pair applicant a monthly LEAP card, and that's the Irish travel card for local travel on buses, trains, trams, light rail, any of the infrastructure for travelling within Dublin to the family household along the train rail, even to Bray as well. So between Dublin and Bray, the students can use their travel card. They use it every day to go to school, and then they can use it at the weekends for socialising with their friends. The Demi-pair families also collect the Demi-pairs when they arrive to Ireland into Dublin Airport, and then they bring them back on their date of departure, so that transfer is also included. For each of the Demi-pair families that we have on our files, we have a profile of each of the families. So the profile is detailed information about the family themselves. It's photographs of the house, of the Demi-pair's bedroom, the living room, the family, the children, their pets. It's a detailed profile, and we only share that with our agents at the time when we have a family who's interested in meeting your candidate, and then a phone call is set up for the first part of the application process with Living English. I'm going to go through that procedure in the next stage of this presentation. Many agents ask, what is the difference between an au pair and a demi-pair? So au pair is where traditionally the au pair is staying full-time in the family home, is available to work full-time, morning, noon, afternoons, evening times with the family, with the children. They may receive payment for this, or they may receive pocket money for this. However, with the demi-pair program, the French word demi does kindly suggest a half. So it's split, the program is split in half between half of the time in the family home and half of the time in the language school setting, which gives an opportunity for the Demi-pair applicant to be familiarizing themselves with the culture of a family household, improving their English, minding the children, and then having the opportunity to get up every morning and go to school and be part of an internationally mixed language school, making new friends from all over the world and participating on the social activity program. There's no money exchanged between the family and the Demi-pair candidate. It's more like an exchange of services. So in exchange for the single room, the full board accommodation, made feel part of the family home, the Demi-pair then provides the family with the 20 hours childcare during the week, Monday to Friday, and the 2 nights babysitting over the month. This program is very beneficial for everybody concerned because it gives time and space to everybody, and it also gives the opportunity for the demi-pairs to have and create a social network for themselves, which is really, really important for young adults when they're traveling abroad to a foreign country, to make friends with their classmates, with other demi-pairs, and to socialize with them and have a support system in place. Examples of the demi-pair duties are as follows. For the childcare option, the demi-pair could be asked to collect the children from school, to collect them from creche, to prepare light snacks, to supervise the children doing homework, to bring them for an outdoor walk, to do indoor activities or outdoor activities with the children, to look after them in the morning time, which could be like getting them ready for school, coats, jackets on, lunch into the lunch boxes, out the door, and then the demi-pair goes to school themselves, or bedtime routine, getting them to brush their teeth, having a bath, getting their pajamas on, getting into bed, reading them a story, whatever it is the family bedtime routine is. Light housework duties, examples are as follows: vacuuming, ironing, sweeping, mopping floors, making beds, washing and hanging out clothes, food preparation, some cooking, emptying the dishwasher, those kind of things. It doesn't involve deep cleaning. We're not hiring cleaners here for a family household. We're looking for young adults to come over to fully immerse themselves in a family household that they will enjoy being in, that they will enjoy helping out with the children and with the families, and that they also enjoy going to school and making friends as well. This is just an example of a sample timetable that I share with all of the demi-pairs before they arrive to Ireland, so they can get an idea of what a typical structure could be like. I then also give them a blank canvas so that when they do arrive over, that they sit down with their family in week 1, talk through what are the duties that the family needs them to do at what time, so that they can put a timetable together for themselves and they know exactly what they're doing. So these could include the morning time routine that I mentioned. It could also include then it does also include the classes with ATC. So if they're doing a 10-hour program, they would be attending classes from 9 a.m. until 11 a.m. and then they go back to the family household. If they're doing a 20-hour program, they attend the classes from 9 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. It's 1:20 in Dublin and 1:30 in ATC Bray. And then typically they go home after school and then start helping out with the afternoon routine of the family household, which could be any of those examples that I mentioned in my previous slide: collecting children from school, walking them home from school, preparing a light snack, maybe bringing them to their swimming lessons or bringing them to their after school club, like a maths club, a Lego club. Many children have many different interests and hobbies, and it can be very, very busy in a family household when you're bringing children here and there. You're almost like a taxi driver. But saying that, demi-pairs don't have to have a driver's license. We have some families that do request the demi-pairs to have a driver's license, and those applicants that have, I do place them with those families. But then majority of families don't request a driver's license because of the good infrastructure that's available by bus, train, tram in Dublin and in around Bray. Then, yes, they may be asked to assist with the nighttime routine as well. And then typically for dinners, for meals, the demi-pair would eat all of their meals with the family in the evening time, their evening meal. Young children may eat earlier, and then the parents and the older children and the demi-pair might eat later at 6 p.m. or 7 p.m., which I know is early for many people, but in Ireland, that's kind of the typical time of having your evening meal. So then in total, from Monday to Friday, that's what the demi-pair has: the 10 or 20 hours of language lessons, and the 20 hours of childcare/home help in the household. The 2 nights babysitting is during the month. It generally takes place at weekends. And then other than that, on Saturdays and Sundays, the demi-pairs have free time to explore Ireland, time to socialize with their new friends, and except for the time when they're asked to do the babysitting, which is usually arranged with the family 1 to 2 weeks in advance. And saying that, at the weekends, the students, the Demi-pair students, have already made friends with other HEC students, and so they're welcome to join the HEC social program. For example, this weekend, the HEC Dublin students are going down to the Cliffs of Moher and to Galway City on Saturday. Sunday, they're going to Kilkenny and Wicklow. HEC also organises trips to Belfast, down to Cork, to Wicklow, to Glendalough, in around Dublin, and many locations that are really interesting. And some of the demi-pairs are having a fantastic time here exploring Ireland and getting to see many places. I also arrange parties. So this is where we have tea and biscuits in Dublin, in the HEC Dublin School, in Bray, in the HEC Bray School, once or twice a month. In either location. And it's a really nice opportunity for me personally to meet with the demi-pair students and for them to meet each other. Because the minimum level is intermediate, but we do have demi-pairs who are intermediate level, upper intermediate level, advanced level. So they're placed in those level of classes. And so this is a really nice time for them to come together for 30 to 45 minutes. We drink tea, we have biscuits, we have a chat, we check to see how everybody's going on. We welcome the new demi-pairs who arrive in, and we say goodbye to the demi-pairs who are moving on. And it's something that is really, that they enjoy, and we arrange it through our Demi-pair WhatsApp group, which is something that we invite the Demi-pairs to join when they arrive, so that they can be included in all of the invites for the parties and for the social activity programs. Now, these next few slides are really, really important if you're new to the Demi-pair program product, and if you're interested on putting it on your agency profile. It's really, really important to understand that this application, it's not something that's very straightforward. It can take up to 3 months because there's lots of documents that we need to have before we can start looking at the application, before we can start processing it here in Living English. So it's a 3-step process. The first process is with you, with the agents, and it takes about 3 to 4 weeks. This is the preparation of the detailed Demi-pair application, and I'm going to go through, my next slide goes through each of those elements. Following that, step 2 is when the agency sends it to Living English. So I receive the detailed application in English. So you've done all of the translations and everything. And then once I receive that to Living English, it takes between 6 to 8 weeks to process. Sometimes it can be shorter, but it's never longer than that. So that is where then I will also go through the details of that process in the coming slides. And then the final step, step 3, is the booking confirmation, where files and invoices are sent to the agency. And this takes 1 to 2 weeks. It's the final process. It's the fastest part of the procedure. And I'll explain that now in a moment. Overall, the whole process takes about 3 months. So the first process, the detailed preparation of the application with you as agents of the Demi-pair applicants. So some Demi-pair agencies or au-pair agencies have very rigorous application procedures already in place. And maybe there's some of you that are here today that maybe like to share some of those ideas with us so that agents get to understand what your processes are. if you wish. And that could be like webinars that you might prepare. It might be interviews, one-on-one, face-to-face, or online, or video interviews. And then the preparation of the application form. So we have our own application form, and I'm happy to receive my Living English application form or the agency application form if the information is exactly what I require. We ask the Demi-pair applicant to write a letter to their new family. So it's a Dear Family letter that has to be written in English, introducing themselves and highlighting their childcare experience or their interest of children and living in a family home in Ireland and helping out with the family and with the children. What's really beneficial to this letter is to include a collage of photographs of the Demi-pair with children that they've minded in the past, or if they've worked at summer camps, or if they've taught, one of my recent applicants was a swimming instructor, and they had photographs of their team that they were coaching. And some people work with children. They might work in summer camps, or they might be leaders, or they're training to be educational assistants, different things like that. Whatever. Like a photograph, like a picture paints 1,000 words. So anything that will help the family with kind of going, oh yes, this applicant looks like it would be ideal for my home. That is suitable. Their CV in English is a requirement. Their childcare references, we need 2 of these translated into English. Their English language qualification, we put the onus of responsibility on the agency to make sure that they are at B1 intermediate level. If you're unsure, we can give you the link to the HEC online test, and we can do the test of that. We can also set up a video call with our academic director to do a speaking test just to make sure they're at the right level. If they're not at the right level, they can always do an ATC language intensive course before they put forward an application to be a Demi-pair. That's also an opportunity for them to do that if they wish. Then other documents, medical search, police search, that can take a little bit of time to get through. Their health insurance card. Now, with European candidates and some non-EU candidates may have dual citizenship, and they can get the European health insurance card. If they are a non-EU citizen, they need to have a medical insurance, which they can arrange either through ATC, or I'm sure some of the agencies arrange medical insurance policies as well. Evidence of a deposit paid to the agency. You do not necessarily need to pay the deposit to Living English, but I do require that your applicant does pay you a deposit for the simple reason then that we all know that this is a serious candidate and they really are interested in being a Demi-pair in Ireland, and then we can place the resources into making sure that we get a good family for them and a good match for them. And then also our signed terms and conditions. So this part takes about 3 to 4 weeks, and then you come to Living English. And at that point, when I have received all of the information, then you're placed on our booking file. So once you're received and placed on our booking file, then we start to do the search with our families. I start to contact potential families. I share with them your application, the letter of introduction, the photographs, and their references. And then the family would come back and say, oh yes, I'm very interested to meet with this candidate. I let you as the agent know that I have a family interested, and I forward you the family profile. And this family profile then is the detailed information of the family, their location, how many children they have, their interests and hobbies, a photo of the family home, the Demi-pair bedroom, the bathroom, maybe the living room area, and the Google Map location, door-to-door calculation of the time from their family home to ATC, whether it's in ATC Dublin or ATC Bray. Then I ask you as the agent to let me know if your candidate is then ready for a video call, and if they are, then to set it up directly with the Demi-pair and the family directly themselves. On the family profile, I do share the host mum or the host dad's WhatsApp number, and then the Demi-pair can contact them and have their first video call. After that video call, the family comes back to me with feedback. The Demi-pair goes back to you with feedback. If the feedback is positive, which 95% of the time it generally is, because we usually try to match them as well as possible, they come back and say, oh yes, I would love to have, let's say her name is Priscilla. I would love to have Priscilla in my family home. I'm ready to proceed to the next stage. And the next stage then is the booking confirmation. In the situation where they say, oh, I'm not so sure, it could be got to do with their level of English. It could be got to do, the Demi-pair might say, oh, I don't really want to go to Dublin. I would really prefer to go to Bray. That could be an example. Sometimes it's like that. And then we would then try and set up another call with another family for them. So in the instance when it is a success and it's a match, we go on to stage 3, step 3. And step 3 then is the booking confirmation. So this is where Living English, we confirm the booking with ATC. We confirm whether it's Dublin or Bray, 10 hours or 20 hours. We confirm the start date. We ask the agency to let us know of their arrival details. We go back to the family with the flight details and we confirm that they can do the transfer. In the situation where they can't do the transfer, it's only happened to me once since I've started here since last December, where a family couldn't, the time didn't work out for the family. They then arranged the transfer by the air coach and they paid for the ticket for the student and they collected them from the air coach stop. Majority of the time, the families do the transfer and that's what works best. Then once everything's confirmed with the flights confirmation and all of that, we then issue, at the time of confirmation, we issue the invoices to the agency. And generally, Living English, we issued the net invoice to the agency and the agency pays us the net amount. If you require a gross invoice, we can issue a gross invoice and then you can issue us the commission afterwards. That's not a problem. Once the payment is received, we then issue all of the welcome pack. So that's the welcome letter to the Demi-pair, to the family. We copy the agency on that. They also get the timetable. They get instructions on what they have to do on day 1. They have the Google map again. And yes, with the sample timetable, they are asked then to go through that with the family during their first week and then to send it back into me so that at least I have something from each of the Demi-pairs to work on in case there any situations arise in the future. I also send an invitation to the Demi-pair WhatsApp group, and then this is where within the group we talk amongst each other and I can send the invite for the party. And the party then usually takes place within the first 2 to 3 weeks of them arriving, because I do have them once or twice a month. So within 2 to 3 weeks of them arriving, they get to meet me in person. They get to meet the other Demi-pairs from day 1 if they're in the same class as them, and they get to join the social activity program. So part 3 then is just about their life at ATC language schools. So a lot of you are familiar already with ATC language schools. These are 3 of the Demi-pairs, the most recent ones that have graduated and have unfortunately gone home. 2 of them are from France and 1 was from Spain, and they were like little pets. I really loved them, loved having them here in ATC. And yes, so like it's a great opportunity for young adults to be here in Ireland, whether they attend Dublin or Bray. ATC is a fantastic school with a fantastic international mix. As you can see here, for March, this past month in March, we had students from China, Brazil, Spain, France, Italy, Germany, Turkey, Chile, Japan, Mexico, from Switzerland, from Belgium, from Czech Republic, from all over the world. And so as soon as the demi-pairs arrive, like they arrive to the family on Saturday or Sunday, straight away they get their travel card into school Monday morning, and they're integrating with a global student mix immediately. The social activity coordinator, Talita, is absolutely phenomenal in ATC. She organises a huge amount of events for the students to participate in, whether it's St. Patrick's Day events, whether it's Halloween, whether it's Pancake Tuesday, whether it's an Easter egg hunt, whether it's Valentine's Day. There's so many different events. And then we also get to enjoy cultural events, whether it's Carnival or whether it's Ramadan or whatever it is. There's many different events that ATC celebrates throughout the entire year, and all of the students are welcome to join in the celebrations. As you know, ATC is a fully accredited English language school in Ireland and was established 52 years ago. So it's one of the oldest established schools with an absolutely fantastic reputation, an absolutely fantastic team, whether it's the academic team, whether it's the administration team, whether it's front of house, whether it's senior management team. All of the team are really friendly, open, and welcoming to international students. And our demi-pairs are really, really happy here in this school. They can travel very easily with their card to and fro the school, their travel card, and they can start any Monday throughout the year. And as I've already mentioned, with the Demi-pair program, they have that option of the 10 hours, or they can do the 20-hour program. They also can do the preparation for the Cambridge or for the IELTS exam. And of course, then they can join in the social activity program. HTC has two schools, one in Dublin city centre, which is fantastic for the demi-pairs because within a stone's throw, they have access to the bus, train, tram, all of the city centre transportation is really accessible to the students. The school itself is modern, it's spacious, it's light, it's fresh, it's airy. It has great nationality mix, as I already mentioned. It has the student lounge. There's a really nice atmosphere and ambience in the school. Equally, there's a lovely atmosphere and ambience in the Bray School, which looks out onto the seafront. So it's really tranquil, really peaceful, and it's not too far to Dublin city centre, 30 to 45 minutes by train. Now for the fees and the terms for agencies, this is just an example of part of our agency fees for 2025. The gross fees for students, whether they're coming for 8, 12, 16, 20, 25, 36 weeks for the 20-hour option in Dublin or in Bray. We also have other durations available. And this is the gross package price, which includes everything. It includes the course, includes the placement fee into the Demi-pair family. It includes the airport transfers, the full board accommodation, the unlimited travel pass, the English lessons, whether it's the 10 or the 20 hours, the registration fee, the course certificate. And what it doesn't include is the summer supplement, which is 30 hours a week for 10-hour program, 40 hours a week for 20-hour program, the course textbook and e-learning fee, and examination fees and textbook for examinations as well. For non-EU students, there are a variety of different options available to participate in the Demi-pair program, but it really, really depends on the country you're coming from and the visa requirements that you need to have in order to enter Ireland. In some situations, non-EU students can come on a tourist visa for 12 weeks. And if that's the case with your nationality, then they can participate in the 10 or 20 hour per week program. The minimum B1 intermediate level of English is still required because that's the minimum requirement for the Demi-pair program. Option 2 is the 25-week study and work visa. And for that, as we all know, the minimum amount is 15 hours per week of language lessons. And the Demi-pair program options that we have are either 10 or 20. So for the study and work visa, currently to do the Demi-pair program would be the 20-hour Demi-pair program option. You would still need to have B1 intermediate level of English required to participate on that program. Option 3 is if you have dual citizenship and you have an EU passport, then you can participate on the Demi-pair program for either the 10 hours or the 20 hours for any duration. And like I've mentioned earlier, that can be 8 weeks during the summertime, or it can be 12 weeks any time between September and May. And then option 4, it would be if you have potential candidates that may be strongly interested in this program but don't actually have B1 intermediate level English yet, they can come for soft landing. It's a new program, and I'll give you further information about that again. It's on our website, livingenglish.ie. But basically, it's a 4-week intensive program. It can be extended if you want it to be 8 weeks. So the candidates can do a 4-week, 6-week, 8-week general English intensive program with HEC in Dublin or Bray. They can be accommodated with our typical host families, not the Demi-pair families. But once they're ready to be participating in the Demi-pair program, then they would transfer into a Demi-pair family and transfer onto the Demi-pair program, which means that it allows students to come over and to attend language classes, improve their language level, and then to participate on the Demi-pair program. So those options are possible for Demi-pair non-EU students as well. And then just to kind of reiterate about the difference between the regular course and accommodation and then the Demi-pair program. So if you have a candidate coming over for a study and work program and they're paying for everything, they would pay for their course. Then they have to pay for the accommodation with host family, which is usually half board, breakfast and dinner, Monday to Friday, and breakfast, lunch, and dinner at the weekends. They would have to pay the accommodation placement fee. They would have to pay for the transfers, whether it's on arrival or arrival and departure. And then they would have to pay for the local transfer travel card, which is 40 to 50 euros a week. Whereas with the Demi-pair program, everything is included. Your a full board accommodation, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and single room is included. Your accommodation placement fee is included. Your return airport transfers is included. Your local travel is included for the duration of your stay. And then you're paying for the course, whether it's the 10 hours or the 20 hours program. And we offer to agents, we offer a 20% commission on the full package. Some agencies would have their own registration fees that they charge their client prior to them coming to Living English with their full application in order to cover the costs of administering the first month of the application process. So that's if you wish to have the agency agreement, the agency prices, and any of the Living English materials, you're very welcome to send me an email to info@livingenglish.ie or a WhatsApp if you want to do a screenshot. My WhatsApp number is 3538744480799. After this presentation, we'll send you out the links to this recording that you can have a look through again. And I will also send you a frequently asked question file where we've prepared frequently asked questions from our previous webinar from this morning and from previous agent meetings that I've had over the last couple of months. So now I'll hand you back over to Fernanda. And Fernanda, you can let us know if we have any questions in the question and answers, or if any agents have any questions, just pop them into the question and answer tab there now. And I'm very happy to answer any of your questions that you may have. Thank you very much for listening, and thank you very much for your time. And I'd love the opportunity to welcome any of your customers to Ireland, to Dublin or Bray anytime soon. If any of you want a one-on-one training session with myself and Fernanda, or with Fernanda at any point, please let us know and we'd be happy to arrange that for you, no problem at all. So thank you. Muchas gracias. Obrigada.
Yeah, at the moment, let me see. I think we have just, could you please send application details by email? Yeah. Yeah, just thank you. Ask for a WhatsApp number, not big questions for now. Yeah, I have one now from Silvana. Do you accept inquiries not less than 3 weeks before placement?
Well, to be perfectly honest, that's really cutting it fine. Um, if like, do you mean that they would have their full application ready? As I mentioned, I would need a full application, like all of the information, their police clearance, their letter of introduction in English, their references in English, translation to English, all of that, their photographs, their whole file, application file. And then it can take 4 to 6 weeks. Now, I have turned around placements within 3 weeks. I can say that I have, but it can put a lot of pressure on, and it really depends on if we have families available. It's very, very popular. For example, one of our long established partners, they send us 12-week bookings at a time. And the highest intake month for the Demi-pair program in Ireland is September, because that's the start of the academic year, the start of the school year. That's when families need help a lot with their children, getting them up, getting them out to school. And so already I've started to place 6 or 7 already so far for September. I have bookings in for September. And like we do say 3 months, because in order to give enough time to recruit, for the agency to get the information together, and then for us to recruit the right family, to organize the call, to organize the information to go across, to organize the flights, all of those kind of things. But saying that, it all just depends on the timing. So as I mentioned, the 12-week agent that we work with, that provides us with 12-week back to back, they more or less have their candidates coming in September up to Christmas, January up to March, April up to June, then summer is open. And so the families are receiving candidates in September, again in January, again in April, again in June. And so that's the kind of zigzag approach we have with a majority of our families. Then we always have new families coming in board, and depending on the length of stay, because we have some candidates that stay for 16 weeks, some for 20, some for 6 months, depending on their arrival and departure, then depends on their availability to receive a candidate. So I don't want to say, yes, we can absolutely turn around something in 3 weeks. The recommended timeline for me is 4 to 6 weeks once the agency has put the time in for the application, has also prepared the candidate for the interview, because they are against other applicants. And there are agencies who only focus on this product and who prepare their candidates really, really well. They've put a really strong application together. They have interviewed them already. They have given them types of questions that the families could ask. Then the family meets the candidate, and if they do well in that interview, then it proceeds to booking. If they don't do well in that interview, they may need more coaching. We then need to start the process again, and that's where the delay can be. So it really depends on the candidate, how suitable the candidate is, how motivated, how eager and enthusiastic, and how ready they are, and then the availability and the timing with our families. So I hope that answers your question. I don't know, do we have other questions, Fernanda?
No, we don't.
No,
I think
everything else
I
has been
assumed
answered.
everything was pretty clear.
Okay. Oh, wow. That's amazing. Well, look, it was great to have everybody here today. Thank you very much again. I see somebody has a hand up. Oh, it's a thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Silvana. No problem. Thank you all. And like that, once the recording is ready, we'll send it out to all of you. If there's any new developments, any new changes, we'll let you know about those. Like I said, if you'd like another one-on-one training, with you or with your team, with your sales counselors. We can arrange that, absolutely no problem. If any of you have the opportunity to come to Ireland, you're always welcome to come to our Dublin Centre, ATC Language Schools in South William Street, or ATC in Bray. We'd love to have you, love to introduce you to our other Demi-pairs. You can ask them questions and get feedback from them there as well. So we're very excited about this program and very excited to welcome your clients in the not too distant future. Thank you very much again for attending, and thank you so much, Fernanda, for your assistance with this webinar today as well. And thank you as well very kindly to Nadine, who helped arrange all of this, our 2 webinars this morning and this afternoon, and for very kindly coming in to work this afternoon again to help us with the afternoon session. Thank you very much, Nadine, as well. So thanks everybody, and adios, and hope to see your clients very soon. Muchas gracias, obrigada. Ciao, ciao. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you, Isa. Thank everyone.
Merci. Bye. Bye-bye.